The wheel has turned once more, and it turns out it lost some coin which we collected on the way. Before we get into the how and why, this is no financial advice and it's only what I've been doing, and if you want to follow along, do it on your own risk, do your own research. Alright, what we are talking about? We are talking about the Pionex dual investment, which if you are absolutely not familiar with, watch my other video, but let's straight get into it. So let's get earn structured dual investment. What in general is the idea about dual investing? A short recap if you're not familiar. But in general, it is a good idea to participate a bit in volatility and increase either your USDD or the coin you are interested in. So if you're following my wheel, I basically do first invest USDD and I want to buy Bitcoin. Buying Bitcoin low means I take a strike price, or so for example 104,000 tomorrow or any other day of the duration, and if the price drops below 104,000 to whatever price, I need to buy it at that price for the amount I invested. But for this obligation that I promised, I already receive some cash. In this case, it's 0.1%. It's not too much anymore because we are already soon to be at the strike. We are soon to be already at the expiration time. So it's tomorrow 8 UTC. So it's 16 hours roughly. And it's a bit far away. So it's over 1,000 away from the current price. Currently it's at 105,378. We can get a lot more aggressive if we want to. And tomorrow, two things can happen. Regardless of what is happening, we still collect our ROI. If the price is below 104, we will buy Bitcoin. If it's above, we get our investment and on top whatever we invested with our ROI. So for example, you can see here, it's 10,000 as an example, and you would get $9.75, as I already said, 0.01, not that great anymore. And yeah, tomorrow we will basically do the same if we still have cash. Otherwise, if we have Bitcoin, we start to move over to invest BTC. Now we do the other direction. We want to sell high. So for example, we got assigned at 104 and now we are moving to 107. So we are now need to sell Bitcoin, if it would be tomorrow, be over 107,000 regardless of what the price is. So if it's above 107, we get USDD back. So in this case, we are talking about 107.88 as an example here with one Bitcoin. Or if not, we get more Bitcoin. So we can actually increase our Bitcoin asset amount, which is really cool. I really like that. So now we are going through each of the orders. If you're not interested, you can skip to the summary, but I will be going through each day so you get a feeling what I've done and how complex that is. So in general, it took me 2 to 5 minutes a day. You can easily do this in the app. So even if you're on the way, you don't need to watch it because until the settlement is on us, you have nothing to do anyway. So you can look at it once a day. I am basically starting to look at 8 UTC, 10 AM my time. I collect my rewards and I take the next one. So as you can see, we started on the 8th of May with a 1-day settlement. So on the 9th of May, we had a target price of 98,500. We received roughly $7.93. I invested 2,948, so this is the starting amount, and we got back 2,946, so this is the starting amount plus the rewards. And we can see a delivery price, it rose a lot at that point in time, was 103,000, so we definitely stayed above our 98.5, so we did not buy Bitcoin. So the next day we do basically the same. The next day is separated into 3 different orders because they had not enough quota for a single trade. I imagine this is basically the other side of the trade and they didn't have enough. So I split it into 2 different strike prices. So again, 1-day settlement. So we start at the 9th of May, move to the 10th of May. And we have a target price of 102,000 for 2 orders. One with 1K, one with 900. For the 1K I got $2.62. For the 900 I got $2.42. And for the third one, which was a bit higher, it was 102 and 500 with an investment of basically everything else I had still left, so $1,048.90. I received $3.93. And again, we closed at 103.79, so we stayed above the target prices, both of them actually. So we had in total 2,958 now to be able to invest, which brings us to the next day, where we did just the same again, 1 day's settlement, so 11th of May. We invested 2,958 and we got $7.10. Target price was 103.205 and delivery price, so where we were at the point of closing, was 103.646, so still above. So we still kept our cash, or increasing our cash actually. Now moving on, we invested on the next day with 1 day expiry again, 2,966. The target price was 103.500. This time the yield was a bit more juicy because I think it was closer to the price, as well as there are a lot of movement during the day. So the price closed at 105.100. We got $13.35 and we stayed above our initial target price again, so we still had cash. But now we have 2,980 cash, and this is the last day where we had cash. So this time we invested 2,980, still a juicy amount of rewards. We targeted 103.500. We received $12.29 and we closed 102.728. So we closed above our target price, and therefore instead of receiving everything in cash, we received our initial investment plus our rewards combined in Bitcoin for the target price of 103.500. So we in total basically purchased Bitcoin at 103.500 for 2,980 plus 1230, so 2,992, give or take. And for that we received 0.089 Bitcoin. This was the 13th of May. Where we settled that, and basically on the 13th of May we started with the second part of the wheel. Now we have Bitcoin, now we want to convert it back into USDD. So again, 1 day settlement, we invested all the Bitcoin we received. We had a target price of 105 and we received 3,252 Satoshi. We closed at 103.627, so we stayed below our price, and therefore we ended with more Bitcoin in the pockets instead of USDD. Moving on, the next day, so the 15th, again 1 day expiry, same of the same. So this time we targeted 105.500. I moved a bit up, it probably wasn't worth it, could have taken a lower target price, but you never know. We got 3,690 Satoshi and we closed at 102, so way below our target price. You can see here clearly we are moving away from our initial purchase point, which was 103.500, because currently we're at 102. But we are still being able to make money on a daily basis, although we are basically on a losing long position, still racking up some money, even while we wait to move it up. I mean, the RPR is not that great anymore, but still being able to make money when we actually are below our initial purchase point is one thing I really like about it, because even if it drops further, just go out and time a bit, you can still get some juicy rewards. Okay, next day. This time again 1 day expiry. I moved down the target price to 104, so still above our initial purchase point. We earned 3,478 Satoshi and we closed just below it, so we are still with 103,944, below 104,000, still got our Bitcoin, even more of course in this case. Moving on, next day, the 17th of May, we are again targeting a familiar price, 105,000. We got 3,917 sats and we closed at 103,540, so still below, still holding on our Satoshi, and nothing more to say. We collect and we spin the wheel again. So this time it's on over the weekend, where a lot of times not much is going on, so the rewards are also going down. That's why I decided to take a 2-day expiry, so we are not at the 18th but at the 19th. It should be a Monday if I remember correctly. Yes, it's a Monday. And we targeted 100 for 500. We got 6,103 sats, so basically a bit over 3,000 per day. And we closed at 102,893. So still holding on to our Bitcoin position. Today is the day where the wheel ended and we cash out. So we had started at the target price of 105. We put everything in we collected so far. So we are 00291 and we closed at 105,387. And we of course received 5,680 Satoshi, which nets us in total after we sell everything $3,064. So the wheel's over. To sum it up, we started at 2,938 at the 8th of May and we ended with 3,064 at the 20th of May. So we were able to make $126 in 12 days, which nets us 4.23% return of investment on the initial position of 2,938, which is in 12 days. If you would spin it up, you would like end at 9%, give or take 10% a month, which is actually over my 6 to 7% goal a month. So I'm very happy with that. And of course, not everything is just from the dual investment rewards, because we also collected from buying low and selling high. We collected around $49.65, and the rest, which is give or take $76, is from the rewards collection over the days. So if you just would have bought it at 103.5 and sold it at 105, you would have also made some money, of course, but you would now have like 60% more during this whole process. Maybe you would have sold earlier or you would have entered later or whatever, because now you're basically always fixed on the settlement date and time. But I really like this approach. It took me like 2-3 minutes a day. I'm just looking at how much can I get. I tend to target between 0.1 to 0.4%. I always go more aggressive on the first part of the wheel. So when I go from USDT to BTC, I'm going a lot more aggressive, and when I go the other way around, I try to target higher strike prices. So I'll not only get something from the rewards, I also get something from the buying low and selling high. And speaking of which, the wheel already turned another time. So we already started. I always start basically directly again. The next wheel, which I will update you when it's done. So we started basically already with everything we had, so 3,065. I'm targeting 104,500. I already received $12.64. And if everything stays equal until tomorrow, 8 AM UTC, I will keep my cash and I will do the same again. Are you already using Pionex? Because Pionex has a lot more to offer than just the dual investment. You have the futures, the spots, the bots. If you're using any of the Pionex products and want to share your experience with them, please let me know what you're using and what you think about it, and if you are successful with them. If you want to get notified when the wheel turns again, please subscribe, and if you found it helpful, leave a like. Otherwise, let the wheel turn again.